It's Father's Day, but according to the U.S. Census Bureau, 1 in 4 children live without their father. That means Father's Day can be complicated, to say the least, for those kids without having their dad around as much. Blanca Cobb, who has a master's degree in psychology, joins us to talk about how parents can help their kids through this holiday. Blanca, first off, how do you know if it's impacting your kid without dad around?
Well, you can tell about what they're willing to say or not willing to say about Father's Day when they hear stories about Father's Day or how their friends are going to be spending Father's Day. And then you can tell when there's a change in how they typically act. If they become more reticent, more withdrawn, but they're typically more gregarious and outgoing, or the opposite. Maybe you have someone who's a little shy, but then they feel more angst or punchy. So looking at a change in their baseline behavior around this time, particularly when they're topics of Father's Day, can really give you a sense that something isn't quite right.
So how do you handle that if you get the sense that something's off?
Well, you want to talk to them and just say, hey, this is what I'm noticing. And it's also Father's Day. And it's making me wonder if, and then you fill in the blank with what your observations are. So you're giving them an out to say, yes, you're right, or no, that's not it. I haven't even thought about it, or I don't care, or whatever that comes out of their mouth. But it really gives you that sense. And then, and as a caring adult, the one thing that I would caution you is to make sure that you don't put your own spin, your own feelings, your own thoughts, your oown opinions. Because if the child doesn't feel that same way, then they can start feeling bad or sad because they're like, oh, well, I don't share their point of view. Does that mean I'm wrong? And the one thing that children need is that validation because it is complicated, it is complex, and sometimes they're not sure what to think about it.
You know, it's not just kids dealing with this issue. A lot of people have also lost their fathers. How do you handle that with your friends, checking on them, making sure they're okay?
And you just started it, Ben. And it's really, you check in on them and say, hey, I know that today is a day for dads where people tend to celebrate dads. And I just want to check in on you. It's making, I'm just wondering how you're feeling. Is there anything that I can do? Would you like to spend some time together, chat? Just let them know that you're there. And oh, and here's the other thing. And I just talked about chatting. Sometimes it isn't what you say, it's just your presence. Sometimes people just don't want to be alone, but they don't want to talk about it either. And that's okay. As long as you're spending time together, whether it's watching a movie, taking a walk, whatever, it can really provide comfort because it helps decrease those feelings of isolation and loneliness.
As someone who lost their dad last year, I can tell you those moments of distraction go a long way. Thanks so much, Blanca. Coming up later in the show, she's going to help us figure out how do you patch up relationships with dad if things aren't going how you like. You can also always connect with Blanca on her Facebook page. It's Blanca Cobb, Body Language Expert.